Jesus Christ Marie is a strong team. They've shown it in the past, and I'm sitting here and I'm watching these games and I'm, kind of scrolling through everybody's, frames and whatnot. I'm kind of looking at the different camera viewpoints and stuff like that, and I see so many things that these teams, or specifically JCM, could do to kind of counter Harvest in certain situations, and I just don't see them do it. And I'm like, oh man, like that could have done so much, right?
Yeah.
They can definitely do it. I just need them to see it.
They did get quite a bit of time to discuss, though.
Mm-hmm.
With all of those leaves and entrances, all the dropped queues. Do you think they had enough time to figure out what the problem was? If it was you, what would you say the problem would be here?
I'm beating a dead horse again, but I think just the road positioning is one big thing. I hate to do it because, I know Haas, and it's not that he's a bad player or anything like that. I just think, in this moment, they got to play their comp and, take advantage of the fact that they're not fighting a team with a rogue. And I would love to see that. I would love to see some fixes in that, and faster execution in terms of pushing out and stuff like that too. Love to see that.
I think it's so cool too, because all of these teams have grown up in the last, I'd say, week to 5 days before the Twink Cup. They've all gone from 80%. Okay, let's. Here's a metaphor for you guys, because this is my thing. So imagine that all of these teams have joined the hyperbolic time chamber, and you know how Vegeta and Trunks, they kind of peaked and they plateaued and they couldn't get any higher. They all got to 100%. They all got to Super Saiyan 2 or whatever, but they didn't get into the next echelon of skill. And I feel like there's some teams like that. Some teams Waka Flocka Seagulls, for example. These guys have literally upgraded. They've gone past what Warsaw Gulch should be, and I'm wondering if Harvest has done that, and if JCM can, unlock their true potential here and go.
Yeah, one could say they didn't get into the alpha echelon Kappa. But with that, we're going to dive into this mid-fight. The team of Jesus Christ Marie taking a little bit more damage than the team of Harvest. Gunz having to push back a little bit, taking a ton of damage right now, actually using that to disengage in and silence. So much damage coming in. Drtranlol going to go down. The Shaman on Jesus Christ Marie's side taking way too much damage, going down. Harvest, their turn to push in.
My lord, Harvest just absolutely thing right here. It's all about the Windwalker, man. I'm surprised they weren't able to take him down. Saxon, just if he could, there's a big Blood Elf here with the silence. He's going to start getting focused as he drops the Fist of Fury. It does go onto the Warrior. Trinket is focused, and I guess the BM didn't feel like popping his. He will run back, try and get that body res. We'll see if he can. Harvestlord's actually helping his team in mid here. I like this a lot. Playing a little bit of healing just to make sure that they do get that control. Of course, they don't have the Rogue, which means they don't really care about defense. Roulaa dropping the flag and deciding to go back up the base. Let's take a look at where Waka Flocka is right now. Or sorry, my apologies. Let's take a look at where Harvest is right now. They are completely contained into the GY, they're containing into the GY. If they just had Rampdweller back up a little bit and drop a couple saps on anybody who tried to cut over, I do believe Roulaa would be able to get to his team, and that's exactly what he decides to do. They are going to push over Ezeron, give him a little bit of a first aid, a cheeky first aid, as it were, if he does get in trouble. Let's give him that protection, and thank you, Roulaa, for making the correct decision and committing to your team. Now it's all about creating that base-to-base play, in my opinion, and utilizing that Rogue effectively. They are also getting some sort of control back in the midfield, where Harvest is starting to lose quite a few players.
Yeah, and an interesting kind of mistake on the Harvest side that I'm seeing now. Their Hunter was kind of on the side as his health was dropping. He just didn't take any healing and just kind of dropped. Not sure if he was out of range, but now this is causing extra pressure on two of the healers for Harvest. Now Monkworkz and Gobknobberx, the two of the healers for this team, also going down. So they're rolling with one healer right now. Blur's on that Shaman, making it his way up the tunnel with the rest of his team. Looks like they're choosing to do some sort of gauntlet run, not to the roof yet, but just gauntlet all the way to the graveyard to reconnect with the rest of their team before they push back out. So good call by this team on kind of not abandoning their FC right now and just kind of playing defensive. And Rampdweller already there, waiting for his team to res and possibly make a push onto Harvest, but no one's there with him. So we'll see what happens here.
Yep. So Interesting play by Harvest. Very conservative, very smart as well. They do get in an advantageous position once again. Look at all of the people sitting on top of that graveyard. Gunz commits. Probably going to see the rest of the team commit down as well, but I think this is in the advantage of JCM here, simply because they have the rogue. Compositionally, it's an advantage. In terms of experience and sort of base-to-base play, I'll give it to Harvest because those guys are so damn smart when it comes to this kind of thing. I would love to see like a Harvest versus skill ratio base-to-base where it doesn't end up in a big turtle, which we have seen in the past. But they're just so smart at like understanding where they can and cannot go and the optimal place to go. It's just map movements, rotations. They're so smart at them, and if JCM takes advantage of their rogue, which is up there, he could get to roof, he could get to wherever they push. If they start to pull back, it would be a gauntlet, in which case you would have your Boomy, who's also in stealth, I do believe. Let's take a look. Cowgirlswag. Yep, he's in stealth too. If you sent both of those guys up to roof and then pulled back all the way to your own base, what are they going to do? Are they going to have a Windwalker monk go stealth and try and get up there? That's what I'm kind of curious about. I do believe you should be able to get the one-shot off, but here we go. The GSC Classic coming around up the ramp. I feel like we've seen this a couple times in the last few days.
Yeah, the JCM Classic, as it's known. This team kind of pushing up into the team of Harvestlord. Harvest understanding that he needs to push down, respecting the fact that JCM is on the horizon. Harvest doing a good job of making sure that he's completely LOS'd. Both teams are totally up right now. JCM understanding that they are not going to be able to push into that graveyard just yet, not with only 6 stacks. They're going to back down, go back into midfield, and we're going to have another mid-fight coming up here. But Cowgirlswag grabbing that Zerka buff in that travel form. No rogue to worry about, so he's in travel form, just making his way up right now, going to cat form, stealthing. Let's see where Rampdweller is. Is he there, ready to meet him? Man, this is pretty scary. He's just sitting there waiting.
Opening up on Roulaa. They have no rogue, but they are going to open. He gets the roots off first before star searching, which is very interesting. Maybe force him to use a global there. However, without that rogue, it's not going to be enough damage. They kind of just wanted to put pressure, it feels like. But this means the entirety of Harvest does need to commit out of that GY. And we do see Cowgirlswag and Rampdweller pushing up now. We'll see if we find some saps. Rampdweller coming very close to actually getting caught out by that swipe. Here is the sap. Harvestlord may trinket this. It's 8 stacks. Here comes the Star Search from Cowgirlswag. Oh, the resap onto a beautiful stomp coming out from Harvestlord. He should be okay, just not enough damage. I don't think Rampdweller actually got the ambush based off of that stomp there. I could be wrong, but I think that is what happened. Cowgirlswag will back on out of there. That is Rebel Man. He will be okay. Now it is up to JCM to make some sort of transition play as Roulaa heads back up towards his own base.
Yeah, wow. The team of Jesus Christ Murray suffering some losses based off that push. It looks like Rampdweller going down, the frontliner, Wushu going down, as well as Pseudo, a healer, and Trashglamour. So the entire front line and a good bit of their healers are currently down right now. They're trying to make anything that they can work in mid, but the team of Harvest just so powerful at the moment, not having to worry about that rogue. So Harvestlord feeling completely comfortable, or actually, yeah, having to worry about that rogue now.
Look at that, he's on to Roulaa. Roulaa displaces already. He's taking so much damage. Can he get to his healers in time? The fist hasn't come out. There it is. He doesn't quite get it in LOS. The trinket also does come out from Roulaa. He should be okay. Good stain coming from good stain coming from the but Roulaa out of LOS of his healers. He's trying to LOS from the side of Harvest as well from their damage, but he's just going to go down to straight brutal damage. Wuxueyangx does pick up the flag here. He's going to get a res on his healers very soon. Roulaa actually does get a body res as well. Wuxueyangx goes down, and the pickup by Roulaa. Good job by him. Harvestlord in the meantime gets taken down. Monkworkz picked up the flag. Cowgirlswag and Rampdweller throwing daggers there, trying to get the Livingforce procs. Cowgirlswag going to go down as well. Roulaa also completely safe as that push did drag the attention away from him.
Yeah, I don't know if I fully agree with Roulaa's decision to kind of LOS his healers in that moment. Agonist was in a perfect position to go down, but, because Roulaa LOS his healers, Agonist decided to just kind of stay up there and keep shooting him in the face, and it worked out in the moment, obviously, but looks like the flag transitions were totally successful for both teams. Monkworkz on the Harvest side passing it up to Harvestlord, who is totally fine now, sitting up there on top of that graveyard, LOS. Really great job by him. Cowgirlswag, however, making that push to the ramp side with Ezeron, it looks like, as well as Rampdweller. So it looks like we're going to have a three-man push. The Hunter, Boomkin, Rogue, so scary with 13 stacks, and 2 Blood Up Silences and a War Stomp. So look to see a push really soon here.
Yep, Ezeron is there with his team. He does disengage and gets that boost of speed. Harvestlord drops down before they are able to connect. He's moving back to his team. Gobknobberx pretty much right on top of him here, so there could be some sort of sap play, but I think he'll get in combat real soon. Cowgirlswag on top. Look, avoid getting hit. Harvestlord commits tunnel here. Not sure if he's going to run all the way up. It's 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game, coming up on 15 stacks right now. This is where the Rogue, you know, they've done a better job here utilizing their ability to move around the map invisible and get the saps and get the ambushes. But is this where JCM comes out on top here, or is there going to be a solo kill from Flamer onto the FC? What's going to happen here? I think Harvest is in a decent position. They're kiting all the way back to GY. Rampdweller might need him here. This is what we've been talking about the whole time. Does he find the sap on a Harvestlord? Does he get it in time? 15 stacks in combat regardless. An ambush here. Rampdweller in position. Can he find it? It would be so crucial. Harvestlord coming out of stealth, or out of form too, to get those drop that heal down, that rejuvenation down, just to keep himself in combat, which is so good. But at the same time, he could get hit. Here's the play around the ramp again. We saw this before in the other game that SR had this advantageous position. They're going to drop down to tunnel, most likely to this base play. Rampdweller comes out, gets the silence, and Harvestlord goes down almost immediately. But it's picked up by Gobknobberx. The reaction times are incredible. Will they be able to sustain him down? Agonist is on the bottom. Livingforce is on the bottom. Nobody's hitting Livingforce. Gobknobberx will go down. Nobody has picked up the flag yet. Monkworkz gets it. Rolls over to Livingforce. Hopefully there's no silences available still. Cowgirlswag putting out damages with those surges. Monkworkz getting topped off still. Harvestlord matches the flag. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but that was insane.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to break this down right here. So the team of Harvest decided to stack their healers up on top of that ramp. Rampdweller took complete advantage of that fact, opened onto Harvestlord by himself. His damage dealers, the Boomkin specifically, followed up just a couple seconds later, and they were able to line up all that damage onto Harvestlord with those Blood Up Silences because those healers were stacked up. Monkworkz picked up that flag. Harvestlord got a body res, picked it up while Monkworkz was still alive, decided to displace her, but with the amount of damage that was coming in, I think Harvestlord had the foresight to understand that he was going to go down no matter what, and that it might be better to just give them the cap and then head to the enemy flag room as soon as possible to get the fast cap again. And I believe that's what we're going to see soon. But Harvestlord right now in combat, so he's sitting in mid, not able to do that.
But is there anybody better to get a fast cap with than a Windwalker Monk? Ezeron's trying to cut him off here. I don't see Rampdweller anywhere. Cowgirlswagx and GY. Blurz is almost over here, as is the Druid. Sorry, that is Harvestlord. I wasn't sure if that was Flamer or not, but there we go. This is potentially the fast cap. Let's take a look. Because Harvestlord and Offthehook and Blurz are all on that side of the map, are they going to be able to find the kill onto Roulaa, who is going up to roof right now? He hasn't picked the flag yet, but is this the quick cap? How do they handle this? They move over to ramp where the rest of JCM is. Drtranlol is already there to meet up with Roulaa, so it doesn't even matter that Flamer and Agonist are there. Really, really good job by Drtranlol being in the position he needs to be to help his team secure this game. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. This is kind of just all on Harvest if they can make the clutch play. We've seen this so many times in this tournament so far.
Yeah, and great job by Ezeron kind of meeting the rest of his team too to kind of peel off those hunters attacking Roulaa.
Harvestlord taking a lot of damage, forced to displace into his team. He does get to his healers in times. He should be okay. He's in bear. The silence comes out though. He was on top of his healer. Is he going to get topped off? 10%, 13%, 50%. He will go back to full health. Roulaa, however, is now all the way away from his healers. Dr. Tran does get to catch up. Gunz probably going to be forced to back off here. Sudowoodoxo trying to take a piece out of him, but Agonist is backing him up as well. Should be okay. I'm wondering where Offthehook is this whole time. Unfortunately, he's just in the middle of that team fight, not able to be that rogue type Windwalker. Damn, I don't know.
I'm glad he was there. I'm glad he was in that graveyard fight when it happened, though. His the Fist of Fury that he actually pulled off when Harvest got really low was actually crucial to him surviving. So, you know, props to Sax for being in the right position at the right time. I think that was a great call by him to just kind of stay there, play defensive with his stun. And I think it really worked out in their end right now, because now they are pushing as hard as they can. Sax doing the wall jump along with Agonist, about to meet Roulaa, or actually about to meet Harvest here. Roulaa getting hit completely by Agonist. Off the hook G going down to that damage. However, Agonist might be able to do something with that Zerker buff. Nope, I don't think it's going to be able to happen. The rest of Team Harvest, though, coming up very shortly, so this push is not over.
Very, very intense. 1 minute left. Only at 5 stacks, but the 6 is going to hit any second, and that's going to be the reduction in movement speed, which means fighting is not going to be nearly as easy for JCM. Here we go. Gobknobberx going in fully just to help his team commit, it looks like. Goblin jumps into range to give his guys some support. Ezeron is there to support as well. The stomp coming down will equal a kill onto Gobknobberx. Roulaa getting hit. The flag dropped by Harvestlord in the meantime, so that is going to be the tie from Jesus Christ Marie here as Roulaa drops into the GY. Looks like Trashglamour was able to get that 1v1 all-star play. Oh, Roulaa with the cheeky little dance in the graveyard. Typical FC stuff.
Typical, I guess. Not. I think it was a confident move, or overconfident move by him. But you know, I think we're going to go into this next game. I'm really glad that, you know, JCM was able to kind of come back a little bit here, and they were able to make some really good plays. You know, despite the fact that not everything necessarily went their way whenever they wanted to.